All right, time for another round. We are 1-1. A little bit of lucky, a little bit unlucky. It's hard to say overall whether or not we're running good or running bad here, but got a pretty reasonable keep here against Temple of Plenty. Have not seen those in a while, so not sure what our opponent's really up to quite yet. Definitely going to lead. Temple of Triumph gives us red for Wild Slash, also white for turn 2 Seeker. Would love to keep this Wingmate Rock against a green-white deck, but unfortunately that is just not very reasonable right now considering our mana situation. And our opponent looks to be just green-white, but is he going to be like Mardu Woe Reaper? Is that a card? Soldier of the Pantheon? That's close enough. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, so did a daily digest on a green-white aggro deck that looked kind of cool. So I think just want to get into like the little racing situation here. Seeker this turn, next turn, Wild Slash your guy, etc., etc. And hopefully nothing too bad will happen to us. I don't think Disdainful Stroke is very good in this matchup. We'll see though. All depends on what our opponent's got going on. It appears to be nothing. I'm skeptical. I think he's up to something. I'm not sure what it is though. But we're gonna run the Rabble Master out there and see exactly what it is that is going on. Wouldn't be too crazy to see something like Devouring Light. I like that card a lot. Hiya. And then, okay, so our opponent took it. Should... Ooh, what's he got? The Griff. The main deck Griff. Yeah, I think the white-green deck I showcased had one of those. Was that Johnny? The Siege, yeah. Did have the Siege in his deck. Okay. That might cause some issues. We're going to be able to clear his board this turn, though. So, presumably going to make a big flyer. And he's just coming with the squad here. That's alright. Take a lot of damage, but we're going to gain some back this turn with our Seeker, so... don't need a second dig, almost certainly. Alright, we're going to slash this thing. Slash the soldier. Maybe we should have held off on that slash. We should have waited until he played a thing and targeted it with Siege. A little too hasty. I'm still getting the prowess and fake prowess lifelink this turn, so I didn't really need to slash, but yeah, he's just gonna pack it up, I guess. So we're a little far ahead here. He could have presumably like played a creature, pumped it, and then maybe tried to begin stabilizing, but he would probably have to trade his creature with Rabble Master, but still would have been better off saving the slash for the thing they targeted with Siege. But now we're gonna bring in some Anger of the Gods, and it's gonna be awesome. And I'm actually gonna cheat here. I'm gonna try and find my daily digest and actually see what this guy is working with. I know he had a bunch of like coursers and whatnot in the board. Coursers and Poly Ks. Oh, I don't have to go back too far, just a couple days. Yeah, and he did have main deck Griff and Soldier and 4 Citadel Siege. Okay, so 4 Siege, 1 Bashing Light, 2 Spear of Heliod. Sideboard has 3 coursers, so Absent Advantage likely going to be pretty good here. Stance kills his 3 Brimaz. Also, if he's like sieging things, Stance is pretty good, but I still like all the little burn spells. Either way, Rabble Master is out. Rabble Master's cuts. Siege is probably a little too slow. I could see shaving a dig, but I don't think I've ever done that in my entire life. So, whoa, 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 whoa. Lightning Strike, where are you going? You're good here. This is 60. This could be good. He has a bunch of glares. Elspeth, Johnny, Nissa, Pelucranos. So 7 enchantments main deck. 3 more in the sideboard. So maybe... Well, the spears. He has 2 spears. I'm not sure if those really work well with his sideboard plan. Like, do you really want a spear and a planeswalker in play? It doesn't seem like it. Anyway, keeping in all the burn spells, anger is still going to be good no matter how he sideboards. And I think I'm losing... Yeah, if he sides in the planeswalkers, I want all the digs. I'm going to keep those. And if he has a siege going, I think I can still beat it. So we'll just do the 2 advantages. I'm not going to overload my deck on disenchants. And this looks pretty good to me. Could make a case for Outpost Siege and or Sarkin, but I like all of these cards. And I do feel like these are a little on the slow end, and this matchup seems pretty quick. So, going to submit, get that through in the last second there. And let's go. What are we working with? Wild Slash, Lightning Strike, Seeker of the Way. Beautiful. Beautiful. Little low on the overall power level, but I'm fine with it. Because we have a bunch of early removal, and Dig Through Time is basically exactly what this hand wants, because we're going to kill a bunch of stuff, and then dig for some more cards. So we have a Mantis Rider on top, and before, I think this hand was like, alright, we're going to play a Seeker, kill some stuff, eventually Dig Through Time, and maybe wrestle control of the game when our opponent's at like 10 life or so from the Seeker. But now we might just be able to go full-on beatdowns where we go Seeker into Mantis Rider. And that plan is not great against some of his draws, but since he might have boarded in a bunch of Planeswalkers and whatnot, Mantis Rider is also really good there. So Mantis Rider seems like a pretty good keep. We're just going to proceed as planned here. Raise the Alarm. That wasn't in the deck. We've made some changes here. Do you have the Spear, too? All right, no Spear, but he is attacking. Dear God, what's happening? What is happening? What could he possibly have? There's one Abzan advantage in the sideboard. I'm not seeing any other tricks in this deck list, but that's one of the problems with just going off a straight deck list. You have no idea. What pump spells are there even? Gather Courage? Is that good in his deck? I mean, Gather Courage would blow me out. I don't know what this could possibly be. I think Gather Courage is the most likely. There's not like a raid thing unless he has Mardu Horde Chief somehow. And if he has that, I'm not too upset about it. I don't know. I think things only go poorly if I block. I like the Seeker. I like the Prowess. I like the Lifelink. I'm not going to risk it. Haven't quite figured out what he's up to yet, but that's okay. If he has a Horde Chief and I'm just letting this through, then so be it. He has an extra 1/1. I think I can beat that. Not the end of the world. The risk reward is not really there for me to block and try and chump check him. And he just has a Brimaz, which is really, really good because it's so big. And I could attack with Seeker. I don't think he's going to block. And then I guess I could strike and slash his Brimaz. That might actually be worth it. Because otherwise this Brimaz is going to give me a lot of trouble because I didn't draw one of my stances. So yeah, we're gonna attack. And then if he blocks, I can kill his cat, maybe kill another soldier or go upstairs. Probably kill a soldier. Yeah, he's not going to block. I suspected as much. So we're going to use 2 spells to kill this thing, and I think it's still worth it. I guess I could have drawn a Stoke the Flames too. Let's check this out, this combo, this Mondo combo. Wild Slash, Trigger Prowess. Prowess resolves first. Boom. We have a Ferocious Wild Slash. Doesn't actually do anything, but it's cool. Wish the Ferocious was deals 1 to each other. Oh, another Brimaz deals 1 to another one of their creatures. That would have been great. What does he have? What is the thing that he attacked into me with? Is he just a psychopath? My money is on Psychopath. All right. Probably going to play this rider. I think it's good to just scry first, get some information, see what's going on. Stoke the Flames. Going to need that to beat that Brimaz, but if he has another land and keeps it open for Sunblade Elf, that's going to be a problem. Ugh. It's not going as planned. I'm in an okay spot, but it's not a great spot. Brimaz is a good card, especially against this deck. And that's why we kept in all those stances. Warden. Warden's in the house. He played that before attacking. That does signal to me that it could be Gather Courage. I don't think I have a good way around it, though. I think we're putting Rider on that token. Seeker on this Elf. Because this Elf is going to cause me problems. And it is Gather Courage. We did sniff it out. We figured it out. We'll get a little scry action going on here. Elf is dead, so that's basically what we wanted. Now we have to deal with this Warden, which is going to be kind of tough. But we're going to try and take down this Brimaz here first. Can always dig next turn for an Anger of the Gods or a Lightning Strike. And oh dear, is that... Oh, okay, he's just leveling that up. That was another Raise the Alarm. I was like, oh, that's going to be a problem. Siege. Nope, just level up again. Okay. This green-white deck doesn't look bad. Looks kind of sweet, actually. Okay, so I can play Seeker and dig. But if he has a mana, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to dig now. Try and find an answer. I think it's my best shot of winning. Nothing. All bricks. Every single one of them, just all bricks. That's hilarious. I think it's Brimaz Wild Slash. I think that's what I want. I could have scryed there, but I wanted to have the shot to hit land plus Anger of the Gods because that would, I think, win me the game. Wingmate Rock would be great here, but very unlikely that I get to raid it, but maybe not. Maybe if he just goes like brick on land drops and doesn't get to level this thing again, then Rock might be great. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll play our Seeker. We're getting a text, so obviously it's very important. And he has a land. And it was not important, I lied. I'll block Soldier and hope that you click through your block step. Look at that Warden of the first tree. First casts a Gather Courage and then kills me. Wild Slash, not Lightning Strike. You failed me again. Alright, he didn't play any enchantments that game. I'm going to cut one of these advantages. I think he still has 4 sieges, but you might have cut the spears for Gather Courage. I think I like spear more. What do I want here, though? I don't really want anything. Sarkin, I guess, kills Brimaz. Kills a 3/3 Warden. Okie doke. Let's try this again. Might actually be pretty good against his, but our hand has 1 land. Boo. This hand's great, though. Sneep. Could use another land. And the awkwardness is where I have this fetchy land when I want to hit blue for this, but white for Brimaz. And I have a lightning strike on top, which is normally a good card, but I think I just need to hit land. So, bottom. Again, he starts out a little bit slow. And I'm just putting this dig on the back burner, I think. I'm just getting a white mana. And I'm going to play out the Seeker and probably trade or use it to bait out a Gather Courage before I get to anger all of his creatures. Ooh. That was a good draw. A Mana Source. And I think I'm good to attack there, even though he could raise the alarm. Obviously, he can't really block. You know, it's not really what his deck is interested in doing. Plus, it's very easy for me to just have a spell there, so. Take some damages. And he has Banishing Light. Great. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and we have our other blue mana unlocked. Excellent. Everything is going according to plan. We have a 3/4, which combos with our Anger of the Gods to make it into Plague Wind, which is fantastic. We have Shock open in case he has something crazy like double Gather Courage. Don't really want to see Citadel Siege here, I guess. Or another Banishing Light. It's a lot of those. Wish I had more Abzan advantages, but what are you going to do? Playing out our lands. Can't dig through time this turn, and didn't want to waste a shock to try and do that, so I'm fine taking another hit here. If he plays nothing else, I don't know. Okay. Guess I just go to my turn. I don't know. No, I should shock a token. I should make sure that I can actually dig next turn, because he might anger or raise at the end of my turn. What is this? God's willing my token? Jeez. Aggressive. Yeah, so now we get to dig. I'm going to scry first, just to get my land out there, because I might want to use all my mana next turns. It's kind of a waste of a scry. I get to push a land to the bottom, which ensures, well, not ensures, but helps me a little bit, making sure that my dig has 2 really good spells, but dig is 7 cards. It's probably already going to have a couple good spells. And there's the Hair of the Wilds. Adding to my juicy Anger of the Gods. Alright, so we can pick up another Anger or a Lightning Strike and a Rock. I almost certainly want the Rock. I might not run it out there as a 3/4. So I think it's probably going to be Rock, Lightning Strike, and then I can Anger on my turn if he does something crazy, like has another God's Willing, or it could also be a Valorous Stance. And then I can just kill it. But it seems like he's pretty willing to commit things to the board. So I don't think my Angers are going to be generally better than just a spot removal spell at this point. We draw a Valorous Stance. Alternatively, I could just run Rock out here. But then I'm still taking hits from the air, and I don't want him to play Siege, pump up my air, attack me for 5, be kind of annoying. And then I have to stance that instead of getting to kill it for free with the Anger. So just gonna try and clear his board here. Guess he does have Gather Courage too. That's another pretty reasonable trick he could have. So now do I use my strike or my stance? I think it's the strike, even though stance kills very few things in his deck. I don't know. If he draws a Brimaz, I'm in a lot of trouble, but it's more likely he draws something small. But if you draw something small, I can probably handle it with the rock. So I think it's probably worth it for me to just strike now. He could have another God's Willing, but I'd rather do this so he can't like gather courage it on his upkeep and then deal me extra damage. So yeah, I'm just going to take care of it now. He has 6 lands. So that's a lot of lands. We drew an Absent advantage. That could be great. So now we're not going to play the rock. We're going to try and raid this bad boy. And he is flooding out like crazy, so pretty unfortunate. Oh, beginning of combat. So this is kind of cool. This is a nice interaction where if it was an Oblivion Ring, which has a Leaves Play trigger, the spell would resolve, then the trigger would resolve. But in this case, once it dies, I immediately get my thing back, so I actually get to bolster on it too. So that's pretty sweet. A little bit extra value. And this game should basically be locked up at this point, because even if he has a Warden, which I think one of the only ways he can get out of this, I still have the Valorous stance. Plus, I have a pretty solid clock. I have 2 things that are going to gain me life, potentially. And he's, you know, it's pretty generous to even call this a 2-turn clock, because he might just be dead after 1 attack. Like, having no outs, at least. And yeah, that's going to be the match. So, cool to see this deck in action, this green-white deck. Pretty sad to knock him down to 1 and 2, because I think this deck is cool, but I think my deck is just a particularly bad matchup for him, because I have all the cheap spot removal and angers and whatnot, and his sideboard did not seem particularly conducive to actually combating that. So a little unfortunate that I had to beat this deck, because I want this deck to win. I want it to do well. It looks cool.